So this chapter, this video, I want to focus on searching and qualifying the right contractor. What do I mean by saying the right contractor? The right contractor is going to be different from one homeowner to the other, from one project to the other. When it comes to ADUs, I usually recommend to use contractors that know how to build new homes or how to build ADUs. Contractor that knows how to do kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling, home additions are not a good fit. It's a completely different type of project. You do not want to use one of those contractors. You want to have a contractor that have knowledge and experience with either, again, new homes or ADUs specifically. Now, finding the right contractor it's a challenging task of its own. If you've been through construction before, then you probably know that a contractor can either make your life easy or it can make your life miserable. A good contractor will make your project go smoothly with no problems, or no, let me rephrase it, with problems that can be easily addressed and challenges that are going to be not as bad as it will be with a contractor that's that doesn't know what he's doing or is not the right person to communicate with you, or whatever reason that's going to come and make it a bad experience. Usually, I would recommend to start with going in network. What does it mean in network? Ask the design professionals that you've used for recommendations for contractors that you work with and know. For example, me being in the business for over 20 years, I have a great network of contractors, and I always tell clients I work with, here are the contractors, get estimates from them, so and I know I work with them, I can trust them to do a good job, but regardless, I'm always going to ask them also to get other estimates. So again, in network with your design team, your engineering team, if you have friends and family that have gone through a process of construction of this nature, and they can recommend you to contractors that maybe they had good experience with, that's going to be your best option to start with. Now, if none of those is available, there is online research that you can qualify contractors. There's a bunch of websites where you can go and search for contractors and qualify them. That's going to have reviews as well. You're going to have the first one, and my most favorite one, is called houzz.com, HOUZZ.com. Then there's Angie's List, Home Advisor, Bark, Thumbtack. I'm sure that if you're going to Google search, you're going to find a bunch of websites that can help you with getting contractors that are going to be willing to bid your project. But again, the biggest ones are going to be houzz.com, angieslist.com, homeadvisor.com, bark.com, and thumbtack.com. My most favorite one is houzz.com. The reason is, with houzz.com, contractors are going to post their reviews and their projects. So you're able to see both actual homeowners that are posting reviews on their experience and also their projects, so you're able to see what kind of project they have done. Now, once you've reached out to contractors, you need to go through the process of qualifying them. Qualifying them meaning you want to make sure they're the right fit for your project, for yourself, and this is the right person you want to interview. I will always recommend to start with a minimum of 3 estimates, but you can easily find yourself finding 4, even 5 or 6 estimates before you have something that you can compare. Keep in mind, use the scope of work that you have in place, the plans and the designs that you have in place, and get everyone to bid apples to apples. Now, I want you to open a form. It's called Qualify Your Contractor. It's a Word document, because I'm going to go over it right now, and I'm going to show you what questions you should ask when you're meeting with a contractor over the phone or in person to qualify them, to make sure that they're the right people. Okay, so this is the form. It's called Qualify Your Contractors. There's a few questions that you want to go over with every contractor that you're interviewing and talking to. Before I go about that, I want to make a note. Different contractors are going to come with different ways of doing things, different ways of approaching it, different type of communication levels, and different type of operations. it's important that other than those questions, you will make sure that the communication with that contractor is a good communication. That the type of operation he runs is the right operation for yourself, for what you're looking to do, and that the personality, there's a good chemistry over there. Okay. Other than that, have those questions first answered, and then see how it's take it from there, basically. So the first questions you're going to start is how long they've been in business. You want to know when they started to, how he started to be, it got to be a general contractor. How long have their company been in business, and what year it was, what year the company has been open. If they're licensed, what I mean by they licensed, for example, in California and a lot of states, other states, you need to be licensed in order to do this kind of work. You want to make sure that they're licensed and that there's no issues under their license. For example, with California, if you're going to follow this link, it's going to be here. 1 second. There we go. Once you're going to follow this link, you're going to get to the California State License Board, and you're able to put in their license number. So when you're interviewing a contractor, ask for the license number. For example, if I put a random number, let's do 36. I'll do a search, and then I'll get the company name. I don't know this company, by the way, just a full disclosure. Never worked with them, don't know them, just random number. So company name, address, phone number, what type of a company it is, because this is a corporation, some are going to be individual, so it's going to say sole, meaning there's no corporation, it's just the owner that owns it. Status of the license, this one is active. What type of classification he has, this one is a general building contractor, so he can do new home builds, shouldn't be a problem. And then they have a bond, insurance company, and so forth, workers' compensation. This one, for example, has a note here that they're waiting to be processed on their certification for workers' compensation. And then you're going to have here a link of personnel list that's going to take you to see who is associated with the company. Okay? Now, you want to make sure they are licensed. The license is active, there's no issues, and they have insurance and so forth. Next question is what type of insurance they have. Okay, on a general liability and workers' compensation. Ask for a sample. It's easy for them to give you a sample for their insurance agent. It will show you what are they covering for. Business address. By the way, home address is okay. Sorry, let me fix this one over here. If a contractor works out of his home office, very common, that's okay, do not be afraid of that. Have they completed ADU project before? How many and what type of ADU projects? Because garage conversions are going to be, in a way, different than new ground up, but still, want to know that. Do they have a list of references, and if so, if they can send you when you need it? Of course, usually they're going to want to send you those references only once you're ready to move forward with your contract, which is okay. At least you know that they have a list that you can of references you can talk to before you go into a contract with him. Ask to visit project that they're currently working on. A good contractor will have projects in the going. So go and see how their projects are handled, what is the level of organization, cleanliness, and so forth. When will they be available to start your project? Okay, a good contractor is always busy, but be sure that they can fit you into their schedule. Are they going to provide a detailed contract once agreed on the terms of project? Of course, very important. You want to see a sample of their contract so you can see if there's anything missing and if you want to make changes to it in advance. So this is the form you want to use. Add to it any more questions you think that you might need to ask, but make sure to cover at least those bases. This way, when you're comparing contractors apples to apples, and then their estimates apples to apples. Before finishing this chapter and moving to the next one, I want to make something clear. Choosing the right contractor will make your project a successful project. Choosing the wrong one will make it a nightmare. So take the time to ask the questions, qualify the contractor, qualify the operation, that it's the right operation. When I'm saying the right operation, by the way, there's different type of operations. There's contractors that are going to work from their pickup with their own hands on the site every day. This might be a good fit for you because, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do, because you don't care about how he's communicating. You care that he's doing his job physically with his crew. And you're going to have an operator that has his several projects, a project manager on the site, or he's his own project manager between different projects, but he's well communicator, doing things, knows how to respond to emails, send his subs, communicate with his subs, communicate with the inspector, and so forth. And there's those big companies that usually going to have salespeople and that they're going to call project managers. But again, important to understand that there's different type of contractors and what is the good, right operation for yourself. You want to know who is going to be managing your project during construction. You want to know if it's him. You want to know that you have a good vibe and connection between you and him. If he has a project manager on site, you want to know who is that project manager. You want to meet him. You want to see that there's good connection between you and that project manager. So it's important that you will have that done. Usually I recommend to not choose a contractor just because the presentation. Presentation is one, it's important, but it's important to choose the right contractor based on skills, experience, ability to do things properly. He has a track record, he can show you things that he's done before, and you have a good connection and communication between you two. That's it. Good luck. It's going to be a challenging one, but if you're going to do it right, you're going to find the right person to build it for you.